And while California legislators work on crafting a budget resolution, the state is issuing IOUs to pay some of its bills. Late last week, the SEC announced that those IOUs will be treated like traditional municipal securities. That means they'll be regulated by the Municipal Securities Rulemaking Board, just like other munis. Joining us now to explain just what that means for investors is Lynnette Hotchkiss. She is the executive director of the MSRB. Ms. Hotchkiss joining us from Washington. Thanks for joining us on Bloomberg News, ma'am. And I was wondering if I might begin by comments that Treasury Secretary Geithner made at a press conference in London today. He said that the U.S. government has the authority and ability to address the crisis at CIT Group. I apologize. I think I just skipped ahead. My apologies. Let me get back to the IOUs. Just tell us about that situation. I actually jumped ahead one story. Tell us about the situation with the IOUs and where those negotiations stand right now.
Sure. What it means is this is very good news for holders and investors of California IOUs. Because the SEC determined that these are municipal securities, the anti-fraud rules of the SEC apply, as well as the more prescriptive rules regulating broker, dealer, and bank conduct of the MSRB. So, for example, we've had a lot of concern about IOU holders, cash-strapped IOU holders, selling these IOUs at vastly discounted rates. But because these are municipal securities, the MSRB has a rule that requires fair pricing. And what that means is that the dealer is obligated to ascertain the fair price of these securities,
well,
of course, which benefit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am, but as you know, almost all muni bonds issued these days are electronic book entry forms. But these IOUs are being issued on physical paper. How is that going to change things at all?
Sure. How it works is that the state of California, in order to reduce fraud, has required that anytime there's a transfer of the IOUs, that is accompanied by a notarized document which verifies that there has been an actual sale or transfer of the IOU. So how we expect that to work is that the physical IOU will be accompanied by that notarized document and presented to the state of California for payment when due.
Lynnette, let me ask you about transparency issues. As you know, that's certainly been a concern for many municipal bond investors. I know you folks have taken steps to address that, but how about in terms of how it applies to the California IOUs? I mean, how safe are these investments going to be for investors?
Sure. What I would suggest is that the investors in these securities go to the MSRB's EMMA site.
Right.
EMMA, as you might know, is our electronic database of municipal market disclosure data and trade data. So on the EMMA site, there's primary market information, secondary market information, ongoing information about the credit quality of, in this case, the state of California.
So you think there's a lot of transparency then when it comes to these California IOUs and oversight, and now the oversight with you guys?
I think that there's transparency on the disclosure side. I think the challenge, though, is ascertaining what the fair price is of these IOUs. So we've given a lot of guidance to dealers about how to look at similar securities, market impact, disclosures by the issuer, and a lot of other factors in order to determine what the fair price is.
Lynnette Hotchkiss, the executive director of the MSRB, joining us from Washington. Ms. Hotchkiss, thanks. Carol?